Assistant. The hell?
You're muted.
And I'm muted. See there.
There we go.
Where's my production assistant when I need one? Look at all the cool kids are here. Buzz, it's nice to have you back with us. Good to see you.
Good to be back.
It is.
I think.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Misery loves company, as they say. All right. Round of shots here on this Sunday night, October 5th, 2025. Streaming on our X and YouTube. Bless you.
Thank you. That was
way to announce your presence with authority, BZ. BZ, Trev, Buzz, Davo. Jenna is on her way home from Athens. She's going to try to come on. Rando also. But we'll get this party started. We are going to talk about the Georgia game. The fan reaction, which has been brutal online, potential changes, coaching changes, this maybe as soon as this coming week. Big Blue Madness is happening next Saturday. We'll talk about that. And Buzz, thanks for having my back, because one of my talking points was going to be the Texas game, but there's a bye. We won't talk about Texas today. All right. Davo, how you feel? The sign over Dave. Yeah. Is that how you're feeling?
It speaks for itself.
Does it? Is that how you're feeling?
Yeah. Three small words that explains a whole lot.
Okay, which one do I use? I think I'll use this one. Okay. Three small, okay. Yeah. I like that one. Yeah. All right. Let's Georgia. We went to Athens. I think a Kentucky fan who, before the game, as far as the outcome, the prediction, they used their head. Georgia, who was coming off a loss at home to Alabama. I mean, we were right for this was what, Georgia needed. Dave, I'll start with you. Give me your overall take with the Georgia game. We did improve by 1 point from the South Carolina game.
Yeah,
Right.
that was because of the literal last minute touchdown on Georgia's probably practice squad players.
Which killed my bet. I had I took the
UK.
I took Georgia, gave the points to Kentucky, which covered, but I took the under was 48.5. And what was the final score?
49.
49 on that stupid interception by the. All right, I'm rambling. Hey, Davo, talk to me. What was
they say Vegas don't have all those big buildings for any reason,
I know. I think Vegas. Well, you got. Do they have like people who are ESP? All that potential. All right, go ahead, Davo.
There's money going in somebody's pocket somewhere for sure, 100%. I had a wedding that had traveled pretty far. I told you on Saturday, so I watched the first quarter, watched the second, realized that we were already down 14 points, and we haven't come back down from 14 in stone ages. So I pretty much knew that the game was over. I don't really have a lot to say about the game because I'm just so irritated. Cutter looked good against the Georgia defense. He threw for 245 yards or something like that, 2 touchdowns. That silly interception, but
yeah.
Other than that, I don't have a lot.
His Cutter stats: 25 of 41, 207 yards, 2 TDs, 1 INT.
And 41's a lot to throw for a redshirt freshman quarterback down there. So
well, there's a reason we had to abandon the running game because we were.
He got hurt too, right?
Yeah. So, Buzz, he's Beasy. What are you doing there, Buzz?
Well, I was just doing something off camera, so
Really?
Camera.
Don't be so stingy. Why are you hiding what you're doing?
I'm not hiding.
Buzz, give me your take from yesterday. High level take, and we'll.
There is no high level take. They're just not in a situation right now. You could talk about points or whatever, but they're just not competitive right now. Now, there's a bigger question about whether they're competing or not. To a man, but that's different than what I'm saying. What I'm saying is something has got to get fixed. It's easy for me to do this because it's so true.
Mm-hmm.
But again, by and large, this was a roster that was put together by the greatest football personnel man in the history of the game, in Vince Marrow. Looked like the personnel he put together yesterday were no match for the home of one of the founding fathers, the University of Virginia, for God's sakes, on the road there on the train tracks. But you got to, if you're going to go out and spend money, you got to spend it better. You either got to spend more or spend it better. Sometimes there's just a bad match. You had that head coach at UCLA that got fired middle of the week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then they have 2 days to put that thing together, and they beat Jimmy Franklin. Man. Look at it, and it's changed. Just because you're named doesn't mean you're going to make it. Look at Belichick; he's getting slapped all over the ACC.
That's a joke there too, but. All right, Trev, give me your take from yesterday, high level.
My take is like what Dave said. They just got to do better overall. And as far as defense, I said they missed a lot of tackles.
Ugh.
A lot of those tackles led to first downs. First down lead to field goals or touchdowns. So got to do a lot better tackling, get their offense off the field, and keep getting our offense chances.
Yeah. BZ, high level, please.
High level. Well, Cutter Bowley definitely looked like he improved from the first quarter, going into the first to the second quarter, led that drive, got a touchdown off of that drive. And, of course, he led a great drive to end the first half, but we got 0 points off of that. Missed a field goal at the end of the first half. And then the second half, it was just brutal. Basically, we run the ball to start out the second half, and then we fumble immediately. Cutter Bowley got very upset that we didn't snap the ball before it got reviewed. So, basically it went downhill after that basically after we missed that field goal in the first half. And I just feel bad for Cutter Bowley and, the whole roster. And hopefully we can improve. We'll see what happens. From what I've been told, Bush Hampton is expected to be relieved of his duties. So we'll see about that. But hopefully this team can improve, though, going forward.
Well, yeah, hold that thought. We'll circle back to that.
But let's hang on just a second, Kevin.
Okay. Go.
We love Cutter Bowley. Cutter Bowley's getting paid. There were a couple times in the second half yesterday where that offensive line gave Cutter Bowley enough time that Davo could have completed some passes.
Well, that's the alarming thing too, DePuska. I'm glad you brought that up. But go ahead, finish your thought.
That's what I'm supposed to do, is to bring up stuff that others don't. That's what I'm here for.
Thank you.
But on the other hand, I don't know whether it's his fault where he's holding on to the ball too long. But then when you go to that all 22 camera, and that's a TV term, so the all 22 is the view where you get all 22 players on the field, and you don't get as much individual TV action, but you get to look at the formation. When you get on the all 22, not a single receiver was getting any separation from a single defensive back. I mean, you just, let's see how far the refs will take it before you get called for an offensive pass interference. You've got to create some openings, and they're just not doing that. And I don't want to go on too long with this, but last week during the media sessions, I mean, Bush Hampton had some things to say. We'll talk about it later, but I'm telling you, I bet there were some tense moments in that place this week.
Staying with that, the receivers. This is again, Trev, very alarming to me as a fan. I'm watching it, in both. Cutter's in the pocket. He's got literally all damn day. It seems like on some, and he can't just find a receiver. And how much of that, from your perspective, is on him versus the receivers?
I mean, if the receiver's not getting open, I don't really see how is that the quarterback's fault. But I know on some of those, Georgia only rushed like 4 D linemen,
right?
And they dropping everybody else. So, I say the receivers need to do a better job of obviously getting open. But first, you got to run your route. Then if you're not open, then you just got to run around and hopefully create some separation from the DB so the quarterback can throw you the ball.
I mean, is that the routes? Is that on the OC to? I mean, I guess I'm just dumbfounded that we. It literally it's painful to watch.
I mean, OC is calling the plays, so
yeah. But
the
it's a little bit of both.
Plays is just not working.
It's definitely.
I know on one he called, I guess, all hitches, which everybody run 5 yards and they just turn around. And I mean, Georgia just sat on the routes and there was nobody open.
Keep going, Beasy. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was saying it's a little bit of both. Offensive play calling, trying to figure out what routes for the wide receivers to run, but also at the same time, it's up to the wide receivers to get some space to get open. And it's a little bit of both. Where yes, it could be better play calling with the routes and also better route running to try and get open. But also for wide receivers, I feel like they should never give up on a play. They should always be moving. I go back to 2018 whenever David Bouvier scored that touchdown against Florida. He didn't give up on the play, cut across the sidelines and scored that touchdown.
Right. No, I mean, but this has been, what are we, 4 games into the season?
Yeah.
4? I mean, this has been a recurring theme every game where it just seems like either he's not he's not confident in making certain passes, or the receivers are just not giving him anything to throw to. So, yeah. Let's see. What else? Time management. That was what was the one thing. Was it into the half or heading into halftime where
Yeah, it was heading into halftime.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
that
wasted
was
like 24 seconds or something stupid like that.
yeah, and then wasn't that the missed field goal too? Was that right? He missed who's pretty much automatic. It was it was less than 30 yards.
26.
Yeah.
Joe Tessitore was like, "Can you believe it?" And I'm thinking to myself, yes, we can believe that just happened.
Man, it's the self-inflicted wounds. Man, it actually is very embarrassing too. You have a coach, obviously, who's on the hot seat, is making a shitload of money per year. His buyout staggering. What is it? Is it now? Is it at 40 million?
No, it won't be at 40.5 million until after this season.
And then we'll get to that post-game presser too, where some of the comments he made, and there was also this story. And you guys would know more than me that. Well, let's just go to it. There was a story or something that at the end of last season, Stoops approached Barnhart wanting to work out something to get him out of there. Is that true? I mean, you media guys, speak up. Go.
I could not get that confirmed, and what I really think happened, and this is my opinion, but I really do think what happened was either Mark Stoops approached Mitch Barnhart, and then one of two things happened. Either Mitch Barnhart gave him a low ball offer of a buyout, or Mark Stoops gave him too much, saying like, I want, 40 million left on my contract or whatever. So I didn't get it confirmed, but I feel like it's one of those two scenarios where, either Mitch lowballed him or Mark Stoops was asking too much for his buyout.
What about you, Buzz? What have you heard? What's the word? What's the buzzword?
Oh gosh. I've been around this thing a long time, and I've got people, if they tell me something, I'll be like, I need to check into that. Or some people, I don't know. That person maybe did it. Then there are some people that just tell you, and you've gotten information before and it's been rock solid. I'm told 1,000% that didn't happen. Besides that, I know Mark a little bit personally.
Okay.
Mark in his first contract gave away a lot of money. He had to pay a different kind of buyout money. And when he was coming up, I know it's a question, how much cash do you need? But most of that money that he made went somewhere else, went west. And so whether it's Mark Stoops, whether it's Calipari, no matter who it is, if somebody had willingly negotiated a contract like that and they had negotiated this buyout, none of us would tell our son or daughter, just negotiate that out with them. You shouldn't do that to them. You've got plenty. Nobody's going to do that.
No, I agree.
I mean, I don't know what the number is. I was talking to some folks this afternoon. I'm hoping to find it. There is a number where if Mark wanted to buy his way out of the contract, he could. I'm not sure what it is.
Really? Okay.
Yep. It was interesting that there was no buyout on either side for Calipari. But I think Mitch reacted to this whole Texas A&M deal, a Texas A&M deal that got that AD gone when they decided not to go through with it. And to me, that's kind of when everything started making that turn.
So the story, here it is. It was Cutler wasn't the first to. Hey, JD, good to see you, bro. Cutler wasn't the first to talk about it. I'm pretty sure it was talked about a lot last offseason on the message boards. Cutler was just the first to put it out publicly. Confirm or deny, Buzz?
Well, are you? And I don't want to nitpick here, but if you're just putting it out there, you're not reporting the story. You're just putting it out there.
You're just putting it out there, yeah.
And you could put it out there the same way somebody might put something out there about your spouse or your kid or your preacher or someone who has an impeccable reputation, and then they just get smeared.
Mm-hmm.
And so what a lot of media people try to do now, I wish Doc was here, he would tell you the same thing. They're very careful to report that so-and-so is reporting. Mm-hmm. Basically, they'll repeat the gossip. They will attach it to whoever the first gossiper was. And then, in essence, they're covered. Because if it turns out to be right, okay, they're right. If it turns out to be wrong, they weren't reporting it anyway. It was so-and-so that reported it. So that is one thing that has happened in our business. But I just don't think, unless he gets another job, and I don't know whether to be a head coaching job. I mean, why in the world would you give up 1 red cent of what you were owed?
No, that's fair.
The answer is you wouldn't.
You wouldn't. Speaking of Doc, he had a great article he put out. Deny, deflect, and denounce. We can share the article later in the description. And this was mentioning Cutler's the article or report that Cutler talked about in regards to Barnhart. The buyout was turned down, and this was during the presser post game yesterday, and Stoops was very dismissive. I hate to give anything like that legs when asked about it from one of the reporters. There's zero truth. I told you last year. I mean, you guys could write it and say what you want about me, but I mean, I told you there's zero chance I'm walking away. I mean, zero. There's no quit in me. Trev, you're player.
You exhale. Do you have a problem with that?
No, just
spit it out. Come on.
Yeah. No, we're at a point. This is where, with like a marriage, sometimes you just run its course, and this is where someone, it's either Stoops or Barnhart, has to be the one that steps up and say, enough's enough. And Barnhart, I mean, they've got to, if it means to get him out and pay this massive buyout, then Barnhart's going to have to figure it out. Because here's the thing, guys, look over Davo's shoulder. This is not just one person with a fire Mark Stoops sign or notion. They're a majority of the fan base, BBN, they're done with him. We can bitch and moan about, every OC that has sucked, in the last few years, every quarterback that's come in who has just sucked. There's one common denominator in all this. It's the guy who's making a shitload of money every year and just seems to can't get it right. That's a fan perspective. I'm a fan.
Listen, I'm no Mark Stoops guy, but he's done I think he's done a really nice job. He's obviously the winning coach here. We're not buds or anything like that.
Overall, yes, absolutely.
Well, that's what you're judged on, isn't it? Unless you're the offensive coordinator.
Well, you're also judged on what have you done for me lately, and what he's done has been. Are we competing against what? Arkansas is the worst team in the SEC right now. We likely will go winless this season. This is me as a fan. This will probably sound selfish, or people will.
Here we go.
This is what I need as a fan, because I want him out. Yes, what he's
Pony
done
up. Isn't that what he said? Pony up.
I will contribute to the GoFundMe, whatever Venmo account. But here's the thing. You know, Buzz, Mark.
Yes.
If Coach Stoops takes a absolute pounding for the rest of the season. Oh, his stat line at the end of the season, winless, getting freaking our asses kicked. We don't, as a fan, I need the team to go winless and get it basically embarrassed so that his potential ego realizes, okay, it's not working. I have to step away.
What? Why does it have to be his ego?
Well, I mean,
I'm not being contrary here, but I mean,
but what is he not seeing? What we're all seeing, that it has just been, we're just sinking. The ship is sinking. We're in a sense we're the worst team in the SEC right now.
Okay, but he's got a contract,
right?
I mean, he didn't force those guys to pay him that money when A&M came calling, and who knows? I mean, we know what happened. We know that they didn't, but I mean, what if he had just pulled the trigger and just waited for? I mean, they did this of a free will, and it's a calculation. I don't think they calculated NIL, but it was a calculation, financially, that they were going to do this, this, and this, and we can support this. And now this NIL has come around, and they've had to go back under the university and borrow $30 million from the university. And I just, I mean, there are obviously a couple of wild cards out there, but I just don't think that anybody is interested in putting up that kind of buyout money right now.
So you see him here continuing in the foreseeable future. You still see him as the coach, Buzz?
Oh, I don't know about that. What I'm saying is he ain't leaving here empty-handed.
No.
I mean,
no, I get that.
And who knows? I mean, he could sit out for a while. I think I've mentioned it here before, but that their dad had a heart attack in the middle of a high school game he was coaching, and there were sons on both sides of the coaching staff. And he passed away young, and so brother Bob, who had it going out there at Oklahoma, he retired young. I think Mark's in his 50s. I don't know what he's going to do, but I mean, he knows that, he knows that this guy, that Barnhart is going to be there. Going to be there with him because he asked him to sign a contract, and he did. Mm-hmm. And he shouldn't be penalized for that.
Yeah, I agree.
Mitch Barnhart is the victim of his own stupidity, so to speak, right? I mean, Mitch Barnhart made this decision in spite of understanding the way things were going in college football with the NIL, how crazy the transfer portal was. Mitch was going off the fact that Stoops has done some pretty good things for us, 2018, ish season with the 10-win seasons and everything. And he said, you are going to have to pay to take our most winningest coach in history, and you're going to have to pay a lot to get him. And now this is almost came back. Well, it hasn't almost came back. It is hitting with the biggest right hook of, now you're going to have to pay this man. I want Stoops is gone just as bad as anybody else. But like I said in our text chain earlier, the more that he drives his boat, captains his boat into deeper and deeper waters, the more it's going to sink, the more it's going to be harder for him to rebuild his legacy. Now,
that's
if he walks
good
away,
take. Go ahead.
Yeah, if he walks away from this as a man and as somebody who loves money like anybody else in this world, he's a fucking idiot for walking away from that.
Yeah,
right? So he's not going to do that. So the only option is to fire him. But where is that money going to come from? Dave, you know the Crafts, I think, pretty well. They spend like $25 million a year on a fucking ham at the freaking Kentucky State Fair.
To be fair, it was 11 this year.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And they split it 50-50 with Central Bank. But I will tell you this.
So 4 hams and we're good.
but let me tell you this: Luther Deet, the guy who owns heads up Kentucky Central, he's got like 5 guys like us right here that he hangs out with, and he has them cut some of that ham up. And on Christmas morning, he meets them down at McDonald's in Nicholasville, and they eat $5 million worth of ham.
Can that be a part of Stoops' departure? Then we'll give you a fresh ham from the player? I mean,
I think if you want to be formal, you'd have to say canned ham. I mean, that was always the Cadillac of hams when I was growing up, would be the canned ham.
The Kentucky Legend ham is pretty good, yeah.
There's no question. Absolutely.
Yeah.
JD has got some options here. Give him $18 million now, and I guess then $20 million over 5 years. Because what is this buyout right now?
It's 60 months. It's 2 years.
2 years.
No, I think the buyout right now is somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 to 35 million.
No, I meant the time frame.
And he's got it. If that's the case, if they fire him and they buy him out or whatever, they've got to pay him within 30 days.
Yeah, 30 days.
60 days. But yeah.
Wow.
See, Alabama, whenever they was talking about firing Kalen DeBoer, his was $70 million, which is ridiculous, but that's Alabama. But it would be paid out over like 7 to 8 years, which would be a lot more sensible.
And the one thing you could negotiate is one of the Bobby Bonilla contracts. I mean, Stoops at his age doesn't want to drag it out for 40 years, but I mean, that's
one of the most genius contracts ever. Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah, sure.
Because he's still getting paid by the Mets, right?
Everybody's still a winner.
Yes,
like 2033, I believe.
That's
1.2 million.
Yes.
That's right. So it comes out to $1 million after tax.
It was a win-win though for both sides.
Yes,
right?
It was.
Yeah. So, all right. Jeez. Trev is as a player. What's and you see all the drama going on with the coaching staff. How do the players stay checked in? Well, I guess it's different because the money is obviously the guys or the players are getting paid, so it's a totally different animal. They're probably just pay me. I don't know.
I say as a player, you still gotta go to class, go to weightlifting, and still go to practice, and still gotta play. But it is something to think about that your coach could get fired. You might end up having a new coach next couple of days, but until then, you still got to go out there and practice and try to take care of what you can take care of. What can you control? So
yeah, I mean the players still have to do their part because if they are any player that does bounce or go to the portal, they got to still keep their stock high. Yeah. So let's switch to potentially the OC, maybe being the fall guy, the person that they'll serve up to BBN to calm the natives, the restless natives. Beasy, you've put out several posts on X about the OC. What's your sources say?
Yeah, what my source told me is he is expected to be relieved of his duties by no later than on Tuesday. But from what he told me is he is still expected to still have a role with UK some way, somehow. Of course, that's what my source says. Anything can happen before Tuesday, but that is what they told me. And, we'll see who UK replaces Butch Hampton if it does happen.
Buzz, is this the curse of Eddie Grant?
Exactly what I was just saying.
It's the curse of Eddie Grant. Everything the OC thing just kind of fell apart. Now, obviously, Liam Cohen was a bright spot, but I don't know. Basically, what he just said is that what you're hearing about the OC this week? Or
I'm not I'm not taking sides against anybody or for anybody, but I've been on the phone all afternoon. I haven't heard anything about that.
Okay.
That's the logical thing. I mean, at this point in time, you either got to find the best unemployed guy you can find. However, most of those guys who are unemployed because they didn't win wherever they were.
True.
So that's an issue there. You know, I don't think, this is just me now, I don't think Mark Stoops would help himself if they put Eddie Grant in there as the offensive coordinator. What I've always said, and I'm not just saying this because of what happened on Friday, but I go out and speak to people. I'm on a lot of shows like this. I tell people all the time, if you're going to make a move, you better know what you're going to do, and you better make sure you can get them.
Right.
Or else what you end up with is Billy Gillespie. And that's the truth.
And wasn't Gillespie like the 8th choice? I mean, that's how far the basketball wasn't he like the like?
I don't remember that went that far down. I mean, they went down the list.
But
for
every
a while. Well, I'll tell you exactly what happened with Billy G, if you remember. So Tubby came in, won the first year, fabulous guy. Everybody loved him. You know, but the knock on him was recruiting.
Yeah.
Then they had team turmoil that year, right? And so all of a sudden, Slick Rick comes over. Might have been the first time that he played here, but he was here for the NCAA regional, and I think they were the 2 or the 3 seed or something. And Billy G comes rolling in and beats him. And after that, you know, I believe that Mitch probably had his sights on Gillespie if something happened. And then it was just a couple of days after that, maybe the week after. And Tubby was out at the TV station. He was actually taping his last show of the season, and he was talking to Rob and I right before we got to the last segment. And phone rang. He says, "Guys, I got to take this. Just hang on a second." And he comes back and he goes, "Well, I guess you ought to be the first to know. I'm headed to Minnesota." And so that's, you know, I just think you got to know. And here's the thing.
Tubby hand over the keys to a Lamborghini to take a Travis Chevrolet.
Well,
anyways, I digress.
No, you don't digress. I mean, remember now, Saul wanted to get into coaching, and they had that nepotism thing here, and they weren't going to let that happen either.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
So that was a part of it. But you just, I mean, you got to be ready at the jump, and now when things, who would, since you are the self-appointed voice of the Big Blue fan, Kevin.
I'm not.
Who would you want to come in the middle of a season as an offensive coordinator, and could you get that person? And are they available?
I wouldn't. You have to trust someone within the program right now. Is it
Eddie Grant?
Is it who is
Jay Boulware?
Who is the assistant to the offensive coordinator? You know,
you can have the running back coach, Jay Boulware,
or something like that, right? So I can't see an outside guy coming in.
I'm just, again, I don't mean to besmirch anybody. I don't know who anybody else's source is, and it's their source, and that's great. I'm telling you, I ain't heard anything about that. And my experience tells me that if something like that's going to happen, it would have already happened. You know, you got back early last night. If you decided at midnight or something, you're going to do something early, get that stuff done. You got somebody else taking over today with an off week. What you've got, I was looking at the schedule earlier, practice every day, Monday through Friday. And then I think they're going to let them go home for Saturday or something and then come back Sunday. No media opportunity for anybody this week, players or coaches. But I just think, you just got to figure out a way to get it done. And I just don't think there's any quick fix answer. But again, my short answer is I'm not smug enough to think I've gotten them all right or whatever. But I mean, things change around a lot in a short period of time. But as of right now, the information I'm getting is that that's not happening.
All right. So you think the OC is going to stay put until maybe the end of the season?
Well, I mean, I don't know. He could certainly be on the staff and not be the OC anymore, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's the worst that could happen if he did stay on staff, right? I mean, the worst has already happened. I mean, our offense is shit. There's been no signs of really hardly any improvement. We can't score more than 14 points a game against an SEC opponent. I mean, it doesn't matter, right? I mean, you fire him, cool, whatever, sure, congratulations, goodbye, I guess. But what has happened ever since whenever that's happened in the past, right? When you fired Shannon Dawson, right? He went and had success at other places. You know what I mean? Even whenever Liam Coleman was here, our offense wasn't like on fire, like super spectacular. We just happened to have, players like Wandale Robinson, who was a spectacular, talent catching the football, right? And Will Levis, who was a pretty good to really good, college quarterback.
And, really damn good
line.
running backs too.
And running back. Yeah. So what does that matter at this point, right? It's Stoops. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what he says. I mean, he has some kind of handle on the offense. I don't care what he says. He's an ultimate decision maker. So
I'm sure the way he is. I mean, you've got everybody from the NFL on down now who goes for it on fourth down like all the time, and they don't
analytics say so.
They never do make a decision themselves. They've only got the analytics, and so Mark is just not that guy. Mark is a guy that believes in field position and ball control and all that old school stuff. He played defense all his life. It's really when he was growing up, tough time growing up in Youngstown, and then you're growing up on the football field with those brothers, and your dad is a coach. And I mean, that's just who he is. And I'm certain, 1,000,000% certain that at different points during a game, that he's on that headset telling whoever it is, all right, let's use this clock here. Let's back this down. There ain't no reason to be in a foot race here. Yada yada. And I'm sure there are lots of different disagreements with play calling and things between Mark and whoever his coordinator is, because I think that's a fair point. The common denominator is him. So I think that's where we are.
Yeah, but didn't he recently on either his show or post game say something basically like the OC is he does his job. He basically said he has
hands off.
He's hands off, which I don't freaking buy.
No coach's hands off.
Yeah.
I mean, the head coaches, no.
Yeah. And you talked about Shannon Dawson. There's OCs that I think they were handcuffed here, and then they leave and they are successful.
Cohen was handcuffed.
I think so.
He's got the Jacksonville Jaguars like 4-1.
It's and very creative.
Jaguars.
Yeah. So, man,
I'm pumped up tonight. I'm frustrated.
No, it's because we do our fan base. It's a very passionate fan base. We want. I'll speak for as a fan. I want the football program. I mean, basketball will always be up here, but I want like right there. I want football to. It's not going to be I just want it to be close. I want us to be competitive. We're not.
Stop sucking.
Yeah. But yeah, I think, as much as I hate to say this, we go winless. We get basically our asses kicked every week. I thought Florida was a winnable game. I don't see that now.
Their defense is spectacular.
Yeah, and Vanderbilt, they kind of laid an egg against Alabama yesterday, but Alabama or Vanderbilt's pretty good, and
they'll kick our ass.
Because it's at Vandy. Louisville's going to beat our ass. I mean, there's no Tennessee Tech. So my preseason prediction was 4-8. I got that wrong. I think the season winds up going. I think we wind up going 3-9.
Tennessee Tech scored 71 points at a certain time this year. They're like the leading offense in the FCS. Kevin, you know how bad football's gotten around our house.
How bad?
So my wife.
Well, to the point where you put signs up. How is that? Do you have like a sign in like every room?
You know what? I'm probably gonna have to start doing it after every loss and see how many rooms I can fill up. But my wife, God love her, she loves football, right? She didn't know anything about it until we started dating. So she started to understand, the rules and everything and how stuff goes, starting from what a first down is to a touchdown to so on and so forth. But so she's not a super fanatic, right? But we was on our way to church, because that's just what we have to do to clear our minds at the beginning of every Sunday. We was on our way to church, and she looked at me. She goes, "Why isn't he fired yet? Like, he legit sucks. He's not doing his job. Like, what is going on here? How many more games do we have to lose?" And I look at her, I'm like, "Where did that come from?" She goes, "I'm getting tired of sitting here where you getting so aggravated watching him lose, and I don't understand why the hell he still has a job." And that's coming from my wife, who doesn't really care so much about football, right? And that's how bad.
You. That's it. She cares about you. She doesn't want you stressed. She probably doesn't want to fire Mark Stoops sign in every room of the house.
Yeah, well, she won't tell me. She said, "What the hell is that?"
Front yard, the front yard.
Yeah.
You gonna do one of those, Davo? Front yard sign.
Huh? Should I go find his house and just put that stake in front of his house? Yeah.
Your yard.
I got too many Halloween decorations out front to put in my yard to do that. Right?
'Tis the season. Yeah. All right. Our pity party of the Kentucky football program. Well, let's talk about look at the SEC. Florida, good win against Texas. Texas is not a top 20 school, 25 school. And Manning, so overrated. Alabama, I thought Vanderbilt I would not have been surprised if Vanderbilt would have won that game, prior to the game. I thought it was going to be close, but Alabama took care of business. 2 good wins. You got Bama beating Georgia, then Vandy. Oklahoma, strong. Texas A&M, strong.
Go ahead. Kev, my bad.
Right.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but JD did bring up something just on the last comment. Trevard, so put yourself in the shoes of the athletes now playing under Stoops, right? In the era that we're in. Try your best to put yourself into that.
Okay.
Knowing what, let's just say you're a really good sophomore, which you were. You was really good every year at UK. But what would you do in this situation if you know that your coach isn't really worth of shit, right, at this point? What would you do? Do you play for your personal pride, or do you play for the fact that you know that you're basically a free agent after every season and you've got to do what you got to do to other teams can see how good you are?
I say you always go out there and play your hardest, because no matter how good or how bad you play, it's going to be on film. So if it's bad on film, every other team going to see that, and you're out there just not going hard. A lot of teams probably not going to want to pick you up because you're quitting on your team. So if they wasn't bring you in, you might think, okay, coach might get fired. This guy always quit on the team, so he might do that here. So always, when you're on the field, always just give it your all and pretty much go hard, because it's like playing every snap is like an interview. Everybody see how you do and how bad you do. But as far as the coach still, I'm not sure how close the players are with their coaches. But if they are close to the coaches, you want to go out there and always want to play hard for the coach. So
win one for the Gipper.
Yeah. Because like when when he was with Coach Brooks in 06, I guess rumors going around that he might be fired if we kept losing games. So all the players who met, like, we love Coach Brooks, so we'll go out there every play and every game and go hard. So,
so you're saying that these players just don't love Stoops?
that part I have no idea.
I think it's pretty obvious.
Love conquers all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
Well,
remember
they get
that.
paid now, so hopefully.
And then and that
more
coin.
for themselves and for the coach.
But you bring up now it's the same mindset for a player. Yeah, pride. You're every snap is on film, but now it's like you want to maintain your stock as far as the next potential payday.
Yeah. I mean, some players you can see they quitting on a team somehow. Well, they still getting chances at other places. So, I'm not really sure how the portal and you go.
Well, I mean, because talent still.
Yeah.
I mean, you coaches, the right coaches will always see a talented player and probably realize they just weren't coached well, or it's a bad situation for the kid, and so. All right, Buzz, I'm going to do my best to keep this at the hour. Big Blue, go ahead. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. He's on.
Manage time at half for the game.
You were cutting out. I didn't hear you. So you probably insulting me or challenging my ability.
I said if you can't make it by 9 tonight, then we will know that you have been to the time management school of some people that we know that have a very difficult time managing time at the end of a half or the end of a game.
All right. Fair enough. All right, Big Blue Madness next Saturday. There is no football game. It's a bye week, so basketball front and center. Anybody going? BZ, you said you're going?
Yes, I'm definitely going to go. I'm going as a media member, but my parents are also going, so maybe I'll spend some time as a media member, but also seeing my parents. So that'll be fun on Saturday. I'm also going to Pro Day on Tuesday, so that'll also be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see the players at practice scrimmaging and seeing what happens. Hopefully Otegoaway is back from his turf toe injury as well.
What is the Davo? Are you going?
No, I have a wedding. I have to go make some money.
Where's the gig this week, Davo? I'm gonna crash one of these.
It's actually right down the street from me here in Shelbyville, about 15 minutes away. I got a local one. Pretty excited about.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, how would you describe the crowd?
This one, it's probably going to be a lot of grandma and grandpas.
Right by wheelhouse.
Not a lot of dancing. Probably a lot of looking at me. What the hell is he playing? Type of wedding.
I'll be your hype man.
Let's go. Let's make it happen.
Yeah. All right. Let's go.
So, Big Blue Madness I'm looking to do 6 p.m. Saturday, 6 p.m. It's 6 p.m.
Yeah.
I guess is that when it starts or when it opens?
It starts at 6 p.m.
Oh, okay.
All right. 6 o'clock madness.
And just realize it's also Coach Brooks's second year, so this is a whole.
He's gonna have a hell of a squad again this year.
Yeah. BBN United Fan Fest. Is that a thing? Did I hear that right? Or
yes.
What's the story there? What's BBN United Fan Fest?
Are they collecting a Fire Stoops fund there? Drop $1 in a jar.
I think it's the NIL.
I'm Googling interactive experiences, live entertainment, autograph sessions with player alumni, food trucks, photo opportunities with championship trophies. that would be basketball trophies, and volleyball trophies, and track trophies.
Hey, they can bring the 2008 Music City Bowl trophy. They
can bring the 2018.
I got you, Trevard. I was at that game, buddy.
Oh yeah, okay,
nice.
yeah. probably a sellout. It's going to be on SEC Network.
Oh, it's gonna be because all the people are sick of football season, so it's gonna go straight into basketball. Here we go.
But you know what? In fairness, too, the reality is that after the shit show we've had with the football team, then you feed BBN basketball next weekend,
like you really needed to, anyways.
I know, but they're gonna hate. They're gonna hate the football program even more after next weekend, and that's. I mean, what's going to happen with the fans? Do they just stop going to the football games? Is that
and you've got Keeneland cutting into that as well?
And that's true. Yeah.
So. I mean, we gave them 6 games to make us happy by that time. So
Yeah. Okay. What else we got? I think we've kind of covered it. 8:57. Yes, we have. Is it countdown? Look what's right here. Is it?
I mean, once you get to this point in the show, you look and you got 4 guests, and you give 4 guests 30, 45 seconds, and then you wrap up the show, and you've about used that 3 minutes right there. Let's go, Coach.
You are my mentor. You're my idol. Davo, final shot. Take us home.
Pitiful.
The 3 words. Who said pitiful?
I did. Pitiful.
Pitiful. But he's one of a lot of BBN that's calling or saying those 3 words.
And the thing that sucks the most about the coming up, there can be 18 people in the stands, and it really doesn't matter because all the TV deals and everything nowadays. So, with it being probably more Texas fans than Kentucky fans, next game, it doesn't matter. It'll look bad on us, but it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. BZ, final shot.
Final shot. I'm ready for basketball season. I mean, it basically starts this week. Monday is media day, where all the media members can talk to the players and also talk to Mark Pope, and then of course Tuesday you've got Pro Day, and Saturday Big Blue Madness. So a lot of basketball events coming up. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully UK football can change their record around and coming off the bye week, but we'll have to see about that.
Texas here, and Texas coming off I don't know if they have a bye week. They're probably playing next weekend. Anyway, Trevard, final shot, sir.
Final shot. The football team need to practice every single day this week, and
2 days.
If the OC is gonna be here, need to open up that playbook a lot more and get some more passing plays in there.
You got to tell Stoops to stay in his lane then, because I do think he handcuffs his offensive coordinator. Buzz, take us home, brother. Final shot.
Tomorrow is Christmas for Doc, because the opening day of media day for UK basketball, you literally have reporters there from all over the country. People come dragging in because it's still hot. They've got on shorts and gym stuff. And Doc will have something all black with some blue shirt or some flopped around his neck, and we'll come in there and I'm putting the over under on his first question at 32 seconds. Not the answer that it takes him to ask. I mean, nobody does media day like Doc.
Good old Doc. We missed him tonight. It would have been definitely fun.
He's ironing his outfit. He said he had an engagement. That's what he's practicing his questions.
Yeah, he's the man. All right. Football, we can only hope things turn around. If not, then I just wanted to get to the point where someone's hand is forced. All right. Next week, we'll be back. We'll talk about Big Blue Madness. We'll preview Texas. Until then, everyone have a good night, a good week.